Hi, and welcome to the Scott Hinkel Show. Along with the Boilermaker Wrestling head coach, I'm your host, Tanner Lipset. It's the first ever Scott Hinkel Show. Coach, how's it feel to be on the air?
It's pretty exciting, kind of like going into a first match, but for real, I'm excited about being able to talk to people about what we got going on here at Purdue and with the program.
Great stuff. We're going to talk about, on this show, we're going to talk about Purdue wrestling. We're going to talk about what's going on, what's happened, what the team's doing, and, what's coming ahead. So, Coach, early season, 2-0-1. Take me through the beginning of the year so far.
Well, we came out of the gates with two tough teams. Edinboro and Hofstra are both nationally powerhouse teams in wrestling, and to go over there early in the season, we weren't really sure because it's your first competition, but we ended up having a nice victory against Hofstra because that's a very good team, and we're able to beat three of their ranked wrestlers with three of our non-ranked kids and then another one with a ranked wrestler. I wouldn't say a letdown against Edinboro. It's an awfully good team, but we did have to make a switch with not having Luke in there, and we ended up having a tie. But on the positive note, we had to really come back hard at the end, and some guys had to step up, get bonus points. And, everybody was kind of waiting to see where Roger Vukobratovich was at heavyweight, and he came through in a big way with two big wins. So that was a pretty good start to the season. You didn't lose any matches, 1-0-1, good trip with the team. Then we came back, and, the other dual meet we had was Calumet College. We have a nice recruiting base in Northwest Indiana up in the region, and we thought we'd try to help them out with Coach Vega being a Big Ten wrestler and from Indiana. And we needed to go up there and take care of business, but we're trying to promote the sport of wrestling. And we had a pretty good match up there. We didn't have some of our guys in, and some guys had some tough matches. And they have a couple really tough kids that we actually talked to and recruited. So we knew that was going to be a match that you can't take lightly, as you can't take any of them, but we came out of there pretty good. Michigan State Open, just a chance to see a lot of the guys, younger guys, where they're at. Obviously, we were highlighted by AJ winning the tournament. Seeing him back in action was nice. Talking about AJ, obviously, we were excited to have him go on to the All-Star meet, too. We haven't had someone wrestle in that in quite a long time. So having him back in the lineup was certainly nice, and we were proud that he got to represent us at the All-Star meet. And he won the Michigan State Open in pretty good fashion. A lot of other highs and lows there, but again, it's just you're checking yourself to see where you're at in the season. Coming back from Vegas, that was a big midway point in a way to see where we were at. Didn't feel like we had the best tournament, but considering we got 8th, I think some guys turned it around on Saturday and did a better job. We needed to make a lot. I think the thing we got from Vegas and we talk about with our team today is we were in shape, we wrestled hard, we were aggressive, we just made a lot of mental errors. We made some tactical errors, and those you can correct. But overall, again, having Logan get in the finals was a very high point for us. AJ got 4th, had some nice wins there. Big thing with him back on his pinning ways. We're real proud of him that he got the outstanding or most pins in Vegas, so that was a highlight there. And then some other guys that won some matches. I think Kyle Mosier stepped up and did a great job at 165. Had a tough wrestle off the week before and winning 3 matches out there and almost placing, and the guy went on and took 4th. We were excited to see Kyle continue to do well. So, overall, not the greatest performance. We got a lot of work to do, but I think with what we had, we can make those corrections. So at this point in the season, we're not completely satisfied. We're undefeated, 2 tournaments under our belts, but they're all stepping stones to get ready for the postseason.
Absolutely. A couple additions to Purdue wrestling history. Luke Manuel cracked the 100-win barrier, joining you in that club. 15 guys in school history. Great accomplishment for him. Logan Brown's creeping up on it. He got the 96 with his second-place finish.
Right.
A couple guys along with AJ Kissel who've made some additions to the Purdue wrestling history books. Just exciting to see stuff like that happen with you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, those guys have paid their dues. This is a great team, and most of it is based on these 8 guys that are seniors, including Sam Pataxel, sticking it through, because we have a lot of guys that don't make it, and we're excited for them. So we'd love to have a great season. You want to have one anyways every year, but to have 8 seniors on the team, you're excited, and certainly to see them breaking individual records and creeping up on those charts. So I'm very excited for them when they have their wins. I kind of tease Kissel getting back on the winning ways with his pins. So, yeah, that's exciting to see. That means you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Right now, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to discuss some of the activities the team will be doing this week with some guest speakers and some charity work. Welcome back to the Scott Hinkel Show. Coach, a lot going on this week. You're bringing in a guest speaker to talk to the guys on Wednesday. Tell me about him.
Well, we're excited to have former Olympic silver medalist in freestyle Russ Hellickson come in to talk to the guys. And I've known Russ for a long time, but more than that, he was Coach Rogers' coach at Ohio State. And he goes through quite often from Columbus to Wisconsin. And, I mentioned to Pete, let's get him to stop in. I'm always looking to tap into other people to see what we can get off them and learn from them. So he's going to come in and talk to the guys a little bit about preparation, share some stories that he has with them. And, the biggest thing is that, hey, here's a wrestling legend in our country. Let's tap into him. We've got a nice tie-in, and let's see what he can do to help our guys get better. So we're very excited that Russ would take time to stop in and talk with us.
Coach Rogers has always had very impressive things to say about, the guy who coached him in college, said he's an amazing technician. So it'll be amazing to have him around the guys and teach him a thing or two. In addition to that, you guys are always incredibly active in the community, doing a lot of charity work, a lot of community service. This week, no exception. Tell me some of the stuff you guys got going on this week.
Well, it's basically started last week when we were in Las Vegas. I had some of the wrestlers go over to the Armory and did a little dance-a-thon for raising money for kids at Riley Hospital, and that was a last-minute thing. I know a lot of the athletes were involved, and that's how our guys are. I shot a quick email to Tommy Churchyard. He rounded up some guys. They were there. They did a great job. On Wednesday, we're going to be at Walmart, West Lafayette Walmart, from 8 to 9 o'clock, ringing the bells for the Salvation Army, the Purdue Club at Tippecanoe County. And again, I think we don't go out there and just ring the bell. I know last year the wrestlers got a little more in depth with it by singing. I don't know that it was great music, but it was Christmas music, and people were excited to not only put money in the can, but to hear those guys try to sing a little bit. And then on Saturday, we're going to be going to Faith Presbyterian Church in West Lafayette to do a Jubilee Christmas to help some needy families, to interact with them and just spend a couple hours with them in the morning, helping them pick out gifts, helping them wrap them, and just getting to know them a little bit. And, our guys are really good at doing this. Community involvement, we encourage it. We tell them you're going to do it. It's something that's very important to the program, and that we appreciate everything that we get. We want to make sure that we give back. So, yeah, it is a busy week with our guys staying busy in the community.
Absolutely. Speaking of this weekend, we're going to move along to preview our Missouri duel next. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks. Welcome back to the Scott Hinkel Show. Coach, this weekend we got a great matchup. Missouri coming in, clash of two power conferences, the Big Ten and the Big 12. Tell me a little bit about the Tigers.
Well, their coach I've known for a long time. Used to wrestling back in the day. He's actually my mentor this year at the Coaches Academy, the Leadership Academy, so I have the utmost respect for Coach Smith. He's done a wonderful job there. But they're a tough team. They've been as high, I think, as 8 in the country this year. They slipped a little bit, but they're still in the top 15. It's just a tough program, and he's done a good job. He's got some great individuals, and we're going to have our hands full, no doubt about it. But we feel like there's some good matchups out there. I think they have a pretty tough wrestler that's out. We're going to have one of our guys that's out, so it looks like to be an exciting match.
A lot of depth in their lineup, head to toe. Where do you see what do you see as one of the key matchups?
I think there's a couple matchups in there. There's some definitely unknowns, but their 125-pounder is really started strong. I believe he's undefeated, so Eppert needs to bring his A game to that match. I think they've wrestled before back in high school. I think at 174, depending on who they have. Luke's coming off a mediocre performance in Las Vegas. I know he would tell you it wasn't his best wrestling, and I know Henderson's awfully tough. So, those are two big matchups. And again, like you said, there's a lot of other ones out there. There really are. I think their 41-pounder is really tough, and we got a Keith stepping in right now to wrestle there. So that could be a key matchup as well. And then you look at heavyweight. Bradley's ranked really high in the country, and we feel like Roger's really making a lot of steps to improve each week. So, and he's been right there with some big-time names already this year. So I think that's going to be a big matchup as well.
You guys have done a lot of work hustling, trying to get as many members of the community and the campus to get to this match. Give me one last plea to the community. Let's get some people out there. We want 2,500 strong in that place rocking.
Yeah, we want to make it a home field advantage, and I think if people get out there and they see the match, I think they'll come back and see more. Now, we have to put a good product out there, and we have to make it exciting and be aggressive and really make it something that people want to come back and see. So we've done a lot of work. We've made our wrestlers do a lot of work. Our promotions department does a great job, but we've tried to take it a step further. I've really reached out to a lot of people in the community too as well. So we're hoping that they will give us a shot at it. We only have 4 or 5 home meets a year, and I think if they come out and see a good event, I think they'll come back.
In addition to a lot of great wrestling action this weekend, Coach, you guys have hustled to have a lot of other stuff going on. Tell me about it.
Well, we're going to start doing an honorary captain before each match. I think that's something that we need to do. And we're going to start off at Missouri with having Sandy Johnson back. He is one of our very, very supportive alumni, just very important part of the program. So he's going to go out with the captains, flip the coin, sit on the bench. We also have the Purdue band coming, and we're very excited. We appreciate them coming out to our match, so we're excited to have them in the stands. We have the honor guard coming from Indianapolis to start our match with the national anthem and an honor guard presentation. So yeah, we wanted to add a little bit to it and make it exciting and then have that lead right into the wrestling.
Absolutely. So come see us this weekend, Sunday noon, live on the Big Ten Network, Purdue and Missouri. It's going to be a great match. That wraps up this week's section of the Scott Hinkel Show. Thanks for joining us, and tune back in next week to see us.